Before we get started with this review, we'd love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out and helps the algorithm, keeps more people seeing this video, which would really help us out, so thanks. Now on with the show. Boo. It's a monster. I don't know what sound does a monster make.
Well, I was thinking the Nicki Minaj led.
Oh, let me hear that. Yeah.
I don't know that part.
I'm a big Nicki Minaj fan.
Wait, get it? All right, let's just get into it.
All right. Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the
This
Run.
is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And today we're talking about a monster.
The On Cloudmonster.
Yeah. Helion.
I like to think of like the Monster by Kanye West. Loch Ness, Goblin, Ghoul.
I like it.
King Kong.
I like it.
That was not in the right order of Jay-Z.
Why do I feel like there was a Radiohead song that kind of had a monster vibe to it?
Are you thinking REM Monster?
Well, REM did have a monster, but that was a weird one because it was just like a bear.
Oh, the video, the Radiohead video with the monster?
Yeah.
I know what you're
Which one am
talking
I thinking
about.
of?
I forget. It's off Amnesiac.
Yeah, that was a good album.
All right. Anyways, I guess we're talking about shoes, right?
Sort of. We're talking about music and songs that have monsters in them because we are holding in our hands the On Cloudmonster. And in the past, clouds really did scare us.
Yeah, they were terrifying.
Yeah.
In fact, they haunted my dreams and living nightmares.
So we've had a tumultuous, can you say the word?
Tumultuous?
Yeah, tumultuous relationship with On in the past because, Robbie, what did we think of their shoes?
Well, and we've mentioned this in past reviews, so we're not gonna get super into the weeds with it. For as much as they talk about themselves as being this cloud, cushion, comfort feeling, they're firm shoes.
Yeah,
and when we say firm, like the firmest running shoes.
And basically it comes down to where they put their speed board that attaches the clouds to, which is close to your foot, giving you a firm feel. Now they do throw in a nice cushy insole, which sometimes can trick you.
Yep. First stepping's always real nice in these shoes.
Couple miles in.
Yep, you can press that down. Yeah. And again, I think that's somewhat of the same for the shoe, but we don't have to get there yet.
But this is exciting, Robbie.
Yeah.
Not to give away the goose.
Okay.
Is that a term?
Yeah, I think it's giving away the gander before the goose. Put the gander ahead of the goose.
All right.
Cart ahead of the carrot.
For those of you people who aren't familiar with gander, that's a bunch of geese.
I made all that.
Okay, anyway, we had fun running in the shoe.
I really like this shoe.
I did too.
All right.
So let's get into it and talk about, typically you really like the upper. So why don't you start off with the upper of the On?
All right, yeah, my favorite thing about On shoes in the past has been their upper. I mean, look at this Cloud Stratus. It's a beautiful piece of construction. The design's always really nice.
Swiss.
They always did, at least, not always, but they were very fond of this star pattern lacing, which, I don't know.
Funky lacing was their thing.
It looks cool. And while this one is a little bit different, I will say this, the upper on this shoe is a lot more simplified than other Ons in the past. And there's a reason for that, but let's get into what the upper's made out of, which is recycled polyester. Sounds like one of those suits you gave away to Goodwill.
Doesn't it sound like every shoe company uses recycled polyester? Do you think they're just being like, let's take that polyester, recycle it, and put it in this shoe?
Yeah, and it sounds cool, but I don't know that anyone really cares. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than not recycled.
Tell me about
polyester.
these welded seams, Robbie.
Yeah, so we have some welded seams here for, I guess, design purposes, a little bit of structure. It's a different look for On. You got this big O. By the way, my favorite thing, can I just throw this out there real quick, was that I've heard, since On's becoming so popular these days and people are coming into shoe stores asking for the OC shoe.
Haha, it does look like OC.
Yeah, and which, you know, great show back in the early 2000s. Was a big fan of the soundtracks, again, and the...
Excellent, back to the music.
And the drama. They really simplified this upper. I will say it's pretty straightforward.
I like it because it's clean.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of issues for me. Can I get into them?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll get into mine.
All right, little bit of a shallow toe box. So even with my low volume foot, if you had like problems with shallow toe boxes, this one's gonna rub you a little bit. So that's gonna be the first thing to look for. I do like the gusseted tongue and the way that it wraps into your saddle of your shoe, but it's not a finely tuned upper.
Yeah, I would say that was maybe the one disappointing thing about this shoe was that On uppers are usually really locked in. You get a good, nice, tight fit. And here, there's a little bit of movement in it.
It's a little bit of play.
It fits a little weird, like because of that shallow toe box. In fact, Ons used to run, at least for me, they ran pretty big. So I had sized down this originally, got the next half size up, and I still was like, it doesn't feel, now it almost feels too big.
The sizing on this in my 10.5 is pretty close to the edge, and I did notice it on my longer runs.
Yeah, and I felt a little bit maybe rubbing or my foot moving around in there. And again, they do like the offset lacing here, which I don't know that it matters.
It's supposed to take pressure off of the top of your foot.
Yeah.
But
I felt like I don't know if it's because of that or because of just the way that the lacing is very simple and straightforward, that I didn't get a great lockdown in it. But again, it wasn't a deal breaker, but it just wasn't.
Here's the thing. Some of the shoes that we try now have a way to lock over the saddle with the lacing. This one doesn't have that. You're basically depending on the gusset around the tongue to give you that nice fit and just cinching the laces in a traditional like shoe style way to get that lockdown. When I was running my long run, I did get a hot spot under my big toe in a weird spot. I want to give the shoe the benefit of the doubt. I think I was using it for the wrong type of running.
Okay.
So we'll get into that later because there's so much to talk about here in this midsole.
Before we get into the midsole, the thing that kind of holds it all together is this polypropylene speed board.
Oh, polypropylene, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you take AP Science or something?
Yeah, you put the hexalite with the Reebok pump of light and then put it together. You got a speed of polypropylene. Put that on a Bunsen burner, set it on fire.
Who's your lab partner now?
You've always been my lab partner.
Yes.
Even if I didn't know it.
We carved our initials in this desk.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But the actual midsole itself is made out of the Helion Superfoam, which we've run in other shoes with Helion.
Have you ever breathed Helion and then tried to talk?
Yeah.
Voice is real high.
No, I've just choked to death
Yeah,
because
okay.
you can't breathe this in.
Okay.
So yeah, we got Helion polypropylene. Man, we are really doing the Swiss know what they're doing over there. With
they're
science.
engineering stuff.
They didn't invent the nuclear bomb.
Did they really? I thought that was
They invented the Hindenburg.
I thought that was Steve
Jobs.
Yeah, Steve Jobs
Yeah, that
along
guy.
with that Albert guy.
They all did it.
Yeah, Project X
Steve Aoki.
or whatever it was
All
called.
right, the Helion Superfoam, I will say it feels a lot bouncier or softer just on touch than other.
Yeah, that's what I think made the difference for us in this shoe. At least for me, this midsole gives and feels, and you kind of have that fun that you're looking for. When you look at these midsoles, I think they look fun. There's like bubbles, there's crevices,
Yeah.
and you're like, I want to have a bouncy, springy ride. And up until now, not so much.
Yeah, it's mostly just felt pretty dead, but I feel this is the first time where you could feel that interesting.
It was fun. It's like, brrrap,
Yeah.
brrrap.
It's like you almost feel the individual pods under your feet.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, what are those beds with the coils, independent coils or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A bed. Wait. I finally was like, this is the shoe I've been waiting for all these years.
On, yeah.
Again, just a very nice energy return, comfort, a really fun sensation underfoot.
I agree with Robbie. The shoe is fun. When you're running, you get that nice bumpy ride from the clouds. It kind of is cushioning and spring forward. You kind of feel that energy return. It was pretty cool. And the grip on the bottom, Robbie felt like it was a new grip because it felt a little more tacky.
Tacky.
And
In like the good way, tacky.
I didn't notice that much of a change in the rubber. I did notice that you've got more rubber here in the heel than you did in the forefoot, so you get a little bit of durability. So other than the outsole being really tacky, the midsole being fun to run on, upper, while we have some qualms with it, it still works well.
Yeah.
Let's get into the ride. Robbie, you did your first run in it, and what was that impression like?
I mean, it just felt different from every other On shoe that I've run in. Just again, pretty comfortable, nice energy return. You could feel all those pods. Altogether, I'm for it.
I was surprised because my first run in it, I was like, it feels good. But I happened to be running with the Thursday night group, and they like to run a little bit faster. And I didn't even really look at my watch, but we were going. When I got back, I was running probably, I don't know, 30 to 40 seconds faster than my regular easy pace.
Okay.
And I was like, it felt pretty comfortable in this shoe. Enough that it gave me confidence to do my 14-mile run that Saturday with some half marathon pace pickups in it. And that's where I think I maybe made a mistake.
Okay.
So-
I mean, yeah, it's not like it's not really a speed
It's not a
shoe,
speed
tempo
shoe. And it just started to feel a little heavier in those later miles. And I just wasn't getting the pickup. And that's when I got that hot spot under my big toe. So I kind of feel like I wasn't using the shoe for what it's intended. This is a max cushion shoe. It's supposed to be nice and cushioned, easier runs. And I was trying to push the pace in it and do some faster paces for myself. I felt like I used the wrong shoe for that workout. I would normally use something that's more like a tempo shoe or a race day shoe. The shoe was still fun and it got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I think for people who already like On, this is gonna feel like
Next level.
Yeah, like a Clifton on steroids. And then if you're just getting introduced to On, this is probably
This is the only shoe I would say
yeah.
go for this one.
Exactly. And honestly, it looks pretty good too. I feel like you can rock this with other, clothing, whatever.
Yeah. So can we go over some of the details because we didn't talk stats?
It looked everywhere. Could not get the original
Stack height?
the actual stack height on this. Now I will say it's deceptive. From the
Yeah, you're
outside.
in that.
Yeah, your foot's down in there, so really where it aligns with is almost like the top of the cloud pods. These sidewalls are basically just for cosmetic effects.
It's not just cosmetic. I think that's what's holding the speed plate. and all that
Right.
stuff.
But I meant you're not exactly. It's on top of it.
Yeah.
And then you get a 6mm drop.
And for our size 10 at
Yeah.
10.3 ounces or 290 grams,
Yeah.
the shoe I ran in was a 10.5, so it was slightly heavier. But weight wasn't one of the things that I was like, this shoe feels heavy.
No. I felt like that was a nice thing because I feel like a lot of times On shoes that try to be more comfort or build up are a lot heavier and feel clunky even, which despite the size of this midsole and the build of it, it doesn't feel clunky.
It does not feel clunky at all. This shoe feels soft underfoot, bouncy, energy return. This is what I was hoping. The very first time I tried a Cloud, I was like, oh, this looks cool. This is going to be like little springs.
Yeah.
This delivers on that.
Yeah, and trust me, I had my doubts when I saw this shoe. I was like, here we go again. The old promise of the Cloud feeling.
Yeah. Go back and read some of our old reviews on Ons. The fact that we are doing a 180 on the brand and saying this is fun to run in, this feels good underfoot, this should tell you something. This shoe is a winner. And Robbie, what would people pay for something like this?
So to get this pretty mama on your feet, you're gonna pay $170, which is about what things cost these days.
It's all over the place. It used to be expensive for a shoe to be reaching up that high. Now, I think there is kind of a cachet to wearing Ons currently. There's a little bit of hype behind it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like when you have this on your foot, people go, oh, he's wearing Ons.
I will say too, if you're in that, Ons are becoming like
Dagcore.
yeah, everyone wears. Dude, I saw a guy wearing Ons today, like dropped my kid off, and I was like, it was with like baggy, like sweat, like khakis. I was like, stop. Like, don't do this. Like, don't ruin this.
Pleated khakis are coming back in.
Yeah, I know.
I know, it's crazy.
But
That's a mistake, everyone. It's a mistake, I tell you.
It is. Please do not bring back the pleats.
We're giving this guy the green light.
Green it.
So, wow, I think this is the first On we've ever given a full enthusiastic green to.
If we had that thing, it would have broke the red light in the past.
Yeah, don't be afraid of this monster.
Yeah.
Hey, so what we'd really like you to do now is if you didn't earlier like and subscribe, do it now. Hit the buttons. Robbie, what else should they do?
Just follow us on Instagram, join our Strava Club, listen to the Drop podcast every week where we have this guy doing
Stuff.
what's that?
Fuel for the soul.
What's the SNL guys that do that? Back in the day,
Oh.
Chris Kattan
Yeah.
when they're at the club.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, listen to both our podcasts.
And a lot of people don't know, at the end of a lot of our videos are bloopers, so
Stick around
stay
for the
all the
bloopers.
way to the end. And there's plenty of bloopers this week, I'm sure.
And support Believe in Their Own Shop by buying the things we're wearing.
Yeah. Get it now.
All right.
It's also pretty cool stuff. Like this is an Ebbets cap. It's pretty heavy.
It's pretty
Like it's pretty rad. It's felt, wool, all that. I like it.
Fill your wool.
Yeah.
His teeth were made of wool. All right.
That's true. All right. Forehead, because you get shiny forehead, and then maybe the nose, and then cheek it up.
Brandon,
See,
You
look
can't
at,
give people our secrets.
look at my paper. Our
Wait, why
rolling
do you look
papers.
like you're robbing a bank in Baltimore? Dude, that's gross, man. That's like when you put the tape on your
Yeah.
lips and pull it
Ooh,
in.
or the one where you put
I'm gonna
the
wipe this on.
when you put the blackhead thing, the tape on your nose.
Oh, I need to get
and
that.
you pull that out of your nose.
Like beauty tips from leaving it on.
Yeah, see?
Dude,
I
that's
give this
gross.
grease paper pretty good. You might need one more, Robbie. It's like a pizza box.
Dude,
By the way, Megan got these for us because we're too shiny.
probably.
I thought it
probably
was-
because I haven't showered in 2 weeks.
I thought it was a glow up.
I haven't even showered since after that.
Isn't that what they
50K.
call it, a glow up?